Hello and welcome back to the Projects module. In our previous lesson, we explored the configuration of activities, activity plans, and documents attached to tasks and projects. So we finished discussing Odoo functionality dedicated to project scope. In this lesson, we start to discuss the next project concept called schedule. We will discuss the ability to plan and to track time on projects and tasks through seamless integration with the timesheet module. We will continue to explore configuration settings, including timesheets and planning applications. To activate project planning, let's go to the planning application. Let's type PLA. Next, let's go to Configuration, Settings, and set Project Planning. When activated, this feature will allow a user with Planning Administrator access rights to plan resource allocation across projects so they can estimate deadlines more accurately. Let's return to the project application. To see planning functionality in action, we will select the project menu on the top left. Selecting the three dots in the top right of the project ERP Consulting Services will display several options, including Settings. Let's select and then select the Settings tab in the project form. Speaking about project schedule and time management, we can plan and manage the time spent on projects only or use a more advanced approach using milestones. We will discuss milestones and time allocated in the next lesson. We see that timesheets are also set for this project. On top, we see allocated time for this project defined as 152 hours. Let's set the project planned date from September 17th till October 1st. Now let's select the Dashboard Smart button on the top. Here we see a handy overview of this project, including the 149 hours planned on the project. As we have activated project planning in the planning application, we have a quick way to access this app. Let's click this Planned Hours icon to view resources planned for this project. Here we are taken to a view that, by default, is filtered to our project and grouped by resource. From this view, a user with appropriate access rights can create new shifts specific to roles or resources related to this project. We see current shifts planned for employees for time on this project. Here we see 4 participants of our project already planned. From this view, we can create shifts and assign employee resources. The planning functionality can be particularly helpful when allocating hours for a task to different employees at specific times to ensure task deadlines are met. Let's press the Date Selection button and set the period from September 17th till October 1st. Now we can see the whole period. Let's click the New button to create a new shift for consultant Doris Cole as a Community Manager on the first project day, September 17th, starting at 8 a.m. The options listed above are shift templates created in the planning module, which allow for quick scheduling of shifts that you may assign frequently. As a shift template has been created in the planning module for our desired shift, we can easily select the hours for this desired shift by selecting the shift template. We see the project as auto-populated as we have accessed this from the planning view of the project. The role and allocated hours have auto-populated from the details in the shift template. Let's select the date. We could set this shift to repeat regularly. Let's press the recurrent icon. This is the same icon as we have seen in the recurrent tasks in the previous lesson. Let's set Doris's shift to be repeated every week for an allocated time of 1 hour until the end date of our project. If we made any changes to the details of this shift and wanted to save the new changes as an additional shift template, we could do so. For now, let's only publish. We now see Doris's shift scheduled for September 17th and the next 2 weeks, every Wednesday. To publish a shift and notify an employee of a new shift, we could press Publish and Send to send an email notification. To save a draft shift, we could simply press Save. Let's follow the breadcrumbs back to the ERP Consulting Services dashboard. We see that this shift has increased the number of planned hours listed in the project to 152 hours. This functionality is a useful tool for keeping track of hours and resources spent on projects. Please refer to our Smart Academy course on planning for further details on the full functionality of the planning module. Let's return to our settings menu. Under the next section, Time Management, we see a configuration option called Timesheets. It allows you to track time spent on projects and tasks. As Odoo is seamlessly integrated, activating this functionality in project settings will automatically install the Timesheets module in your database. Let's select the Project menu and then Office Design Project. Looking at the Kanban tile of our Room 2 decoration task, we see the remaining hours listed on the task, calculated by the difference between the allocated hours assigned to the task and the timesheets recorded against it. If allocated hours are less than timesheets, this is indicated by the negative value and red box. Hovering over that icon, we see the tooltip of remaining hours. Clicking into the task, we see a Timesheets tab, which is visible as we have activated timesheets in this database. Clicking into this tab, we see a list of all timesheets allocated to this task, including details such as the date, the employee, description of the responsibilities completed, and the total number of hours spent. Timesheets can easily be deleted by selecting the bin icon on the right. We can add a timesheet to this task by selecting Add a line. We see that the date and employee are pre-populated to the current date and employee user logged in. Let's update the description to Timesheets Review and allocate 50 minutes to this timesheet by entering in 0.5 in the hours spent. Let's follow the breadcrumbs back to the Kanban view of all tasks in the Office Design project. Looking at the time of our Room 2 decoration task once again, we now see the overview of time spent on the task has increased to accommodate our timesheet just set against the task. Let's return to the main dashboard by selecting the tile icon in the top left and start to type TIM to easily open the Timesheets module icon. Let's change the view to a list view by selecting the list icon and searching for the Office Design project in the search bar. Here we see all my timesheets associated with this project, including our most recent timesheet set against the Room 2 decoration task. In this list view, we see several additional fields visible compared to the list view of timesheets we saw in the task, including the sale order item if applicable. Here we can also edit the project, task, date, or description of the timesheet if required. For more details about the full functionality of the Timesheets module, please visit our Smart Academy course on timesheets. That's it for this lesson. We've successfully reviewed the configuration options of the project schedule, such as planning resources and tracking time on projects and tasks through seamless integration with the planning and timesheet modules. Why don't you head to the next lesson, where we will continue to review the next configuration options for the project schedule, such as milestones and Gantt view. Thanks for watching, and until next time.